People literally call you whitewashed over the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you breathe, the people you hang around, the people you're friends with, and it's the strangest thing ever. What is whitewashed? Like a suburban black girl? Like, is that what that is? I'm just forever so confused by it because I continuously get this comment throughout my life, and I'm just like, what do you mean by that? And I ask that person every single time. I'm like, can you explain what makes me whitewashed? And it's like, well, shut up. Shut up. What do you mean? Like, please describe what makes me whitewashed. And then it gets real awkward all of a sudden. And I'm just like, are you talking about the fact that I can code switch? Are you talking about the fact that I have friends from different backgrounds? Are you talking about the fact that I'm an educated woman? Are you talking about, like, what is it that makes me whitewashed? What doesn't, especially if it's somebody who's not even black saying that shit to me? I'm like, what is your idea of a black woman? Like, please explain to me how I can be more black. Oh, you have nothing to say now. Oh, it's not so funny, is it? It's not. Yeah, you actually have nothing to say. Okay, yeah. Weirdo. Like, what? That is so strange. You guys are so bold coming up to people and telling them, oh, you're whitewashed. Very weird. I also used to get comments like in middle school, or even high school actually, where it's like, why don't you say the N-word? Why don't you say the N-word? Why don't you say the N-word? And it's like, why do you want me to say the N-word? I'll say it if I feel like it. Shit. But why are you feeding for me to say the N-word? It's just odd to me. And if you start questioning people, they literally all of a sudden will be like, because you know you're weird.
I want to talk about whitewashed black people. Listen, whitewashed black people are so oblivious to racism. It's actually, I would call it a mental illness. I'm not going to lie. Y'all know a whitewashed black girl, right? A whitewashed black girl in a friend group, all white. They could be in the store, right? Shopping, looking for dresses, looking for sunglasses. It's like, oh, hey, Sally, hey, I want to go ahead and look for and get milkshakes and Starbucks after, you know? Yeah, Kelly, does this dress make me look fat? No, Sally, you look really, really good. Oh, thank you, Kelly. But I do want to ask, this lady, she keeps following me around in the store, but I just don't understand why. Like, she's just so rude. Oh, girl, just ignore it. Just ignore it. We'll just leave because I don't know. She keeps following you around and it's making me uncomfortable because why is she being so rude? Baby, that's racism.
What's up, guys? Y'all missed me, huh? Was taken out on a date, so you know. And I'm still spreading love, so happy post-Valentine's to y'all. Continue loving each other. Anyway, as you all seen from the clips before, we are diving into the topic of suburban race blacks, or what some of you call them, whitewashed blacks, which honestly I don't know why y'all do so. Anyway, like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to leave your comments down below. Let's watch these 2 more clips before getting into it.
This is my honest opinion on black people getting called whitewashed. If you don't know what that means, it basically means a black person that acts like a white person. Usually black people get called this when they either have white friends or they speak formally. And I feel like that terminology is just so detrimental to the black community. It's basically you're insinuating that speaking properly means that you're white, and I guess speaking ghetto it means you're black. Like, how do you want me to speak? Like, yo, what's up, my nigga, blah, 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 blah. Like, I say the M-word, I just know how to code switch. Like, if I'm in class or I'm speaking to my professor, obviously I'm gonna speak differently. And I will say there is whitewashed black people, but those are people who are just like, you know, F black people, I don't like them, blah, blah, blah. Like, I only wanna be around white people and I can only be the white person around white people. That's whitewashed. But just because you speak formally, just because you have white friends does not mean you're whitewashed. Hope somebody learned something today.
Being called whitewashed and my struggles with it. For the most part, being called whitewashed doesn't bother me. It's not an insult, it's just ignorant people. But it does have effects on me to some extent. Example, to some people, I act like a white person, I just don't look like a white person. Growing up, the people around me didn't look like me. You know, they didn't have single braids, they didn't have colors in their hair and all that stuff. To this day, I kind of struggle with the acceptance aspect. I don't feel rejected around the people around me, but for example, let's say I have a crush on someone who's white. I will be filled with a lot of doubt because I don't know if a white person would have any interest being seen with someone with colors in their hair and someone who looks so different. I'm not used to seeing a lot of black and white interracial relationships where I live. I feel like that's one of the reasons why I have problems communicating how I feel about someone. 'Cause, I don't know, I guess I don't feel like I fit their ideal person. Obviously, I shouldn't think like this. If someone has a genuine interest in you, it shouldn't matter. But I still have doubts.
Honestly, I don't even get too offended anymore when I get called whitewash, because real black folks know the difference between a whitewashed black person and just a black person. Whitewashed black people don't even know that they're black. Like, literally, they don't even know that they are biologically and physically black. And they do everything in their power to get white validation. And, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do none of that. I don't want validation from nobody, not even my own people. But at this point, if I get called an Uncle Ruckus or Uncle Tom, whatever, I really don't care. I just take that as, oh, okay, I'm just not one of you wild, uncivilized, ghetto, ratchet people. And you know what's even crazier? I'll go even further and say that most of my friends are black. And most of the girls that I have dated were black. And to be honest, the ghetto, ratchet, and YN behavior, I don't like that in anybody. Because some people will let other races slide with that. But no, not me. I don't like that behavior. I don't like those character traits in anybody. It's unattractive and it's really annoying and it's just something I don't like to deal with. But hey, I'm still an Uncle Tom. I'm still an Uncle Ruckus. I need white validation to live.
Picture this. You're a black kid in the suburbs. Your family's worked hard to get there, maybe escaping tougher city spots for better schools, safer streets, or just more space. On the surface, it sounds like a win, right? But dig a little bit deeper and the experiences can be a mixed bag. I've heard stories from people who felt like they were always code switching, talking one way at home, another at school to fit in with mostly white classmates. It's like learning survival tactics early. Smile extra, work twice as hard to prove that you're not that kind of black person. Deal with those subtle stares or questions like, why do you talk so proper? There is isolation too. Maybe you're one of the few black faces in class, so finding friends who get your world isn't easy. And don't get me started on the microaggressions like teachers assuming you're from the hood or classmates touching your hair without asking. But on the flip side, there's privilege in it, access to resources, less exposure to violence, opportunities that urban kids might dream about. It's not all bad, it's just different. And that difference can leave you feeling caught between worlds. Let's get into the whitewashed label or Oreo or acting white, whatever y'all call it. It's basically when someone accuses a black person of being too assimilated into white culture, like they have lost touch with their roots. Think about it. Maybe you like rock music, wear certain clothes or speak in a way that's not stereotypically black. Suddenly you're hit with, you're not really black. Why does this happen? From what I've seen, it often comes from a place of protection or pain. In our communities, especially those shaped by urban struggles, there's this idea that to survive, you gotta stay quote unquote authentic. Embrace the slang, the music, the vibe that comes from shared hardships. When suburban black folks don't fit that mold, it can feel like betrayal, like they're choosing whiteness over blackness. But honestly, is that really fair? History plays a part here. Think about how segregation and redlining pushed black families into cities, while suburbs were often off limits or hostile. So when some make it out, others might see it as selling out, and studies back this also. For example, research from places like the American Journal show that being accused of acting white can lead to real mental health struggles like high anxiety and depression because it invalidates your identity. It's not just name calling, it hurts, making people question who they are. So, why do suburban raised black people experience this pushback? A lot boils down to class and environment. Growing up in white spaces means adapting to fit in, maybe picking up hobbies or speech patterns that aren't common in urban black circles. But that doesn't erase your blackness, it just adds layers. The flip side is some suburban folks might internalize those white norms and look down on hood ways, which creates tension. It's a cycle. Urban black people might feel abandoned or judged by those who made it out, while suburban ones feel excluded for not being black enough. And let's be real, media doesn't help. It pushes stereotypes of blackness as urban, gritty, tied to struggle. If you don't match that, you're sidelined. But blackness isn't one size fits all. It's a spectrum shaped by where and how you were raised. Speaking of that, let's clarify the distinction between hood culture and gang culture because they get lumped together way too often. Hood culture, that's the everyday resilience and vibrancy of urban black life. Think block parties, soul food spots, that unbreakable community spirit born from overcoming systemic barriers like poverty or discrimination. It's about family, hustle, cultural pride, not crime. Gang culture, though, that's a subset, often tied to survival in those same hoods, but it's destructive, violence, drugs, tough wars. Not every hood has gangs, and not every gang member defines the hood. The black people who might blackball suburban folks could come from anywhere, but often it's those steeped in hood culture who feel like suburbs dilute that authenticity. Maybe they are young, influenced by social media that glorifies realness or as struggle, or older folks who've seen friends live and never look back. But it's not all of them because plenty embrace diversity. Here's where I surprise you a bit. Maybe suburban black experiences actually strengthen our community in unexpected ways. Think about it. These folks often bridge walls, bringing education, networks, and fresh perspectives back to urban spaces. They are the ones starting businesses, advocating in boardrooms, or even creating art that blends influences. Instead of seeing them as whitewashed, what if we saw them as expanders of black excellence? It's like adding new flavors to the pot without losing the essence. Finally, my advice to those who blackball suburban raised black people: let's do better. Blackness isn't a competition or a checklist, it's family. Shaming someone for how they were raised only divides us, and we've got enough external forces doing that already. Reach out, listen to their stories, share yours. You might find more common ground than you think. To the suburban folks, own your journey but stay connected. Don't forget the roots that got your family there. And to everyone, celebrate the variety in our experiences. It's what makes us unstoppable.
Think about how far black people would be if we embraced all black people, not just the black people that fit the stereotypes that we mess with. What really inspired me to say that was will.i.am. will.i.am is probably one of the most gifted human beings to ever walk this earth and one of the most talented, and he's from the hood. For some reason, we embrace people like Dr. Dre over him. And it's because Dre fits the stereotype that from our culture of being a hood nigga, smoke weed, everything else. And will.i.am is the weird kid. But think about how many black people, how many rooms we would be in as a culture if we just took off the chains, the mental chains, and allowed us to all be who we wanted to be. I was watching Kill Bill. You know, Kill Bill starts off with the pump it up. Dun, dun, dun. And I was like, fuck, will.i.am heard that, turned it into a smash. Pump it louder. And I was like, fuck. But he doesn't get the roses and the credit from the black community, which then makes him lean more to the love he does get.
Something that I'm not afraid to admit as a black person is the only kind of black people that I don't like are the ones who don't care how they make us look. Notice how I didn't put a specific label on that kind of person. Because do y'all remember that Keith Lee situation in Atlanta with them black owned restaurants? Wasn't nothing hood about that at all. But them kind of black folks I don't like. Black elitists. Black people who feel like they are better than other black people because they got a little something something. You're just as dangerous as that crash out nigga from the hood. Now, do I like ghetto hood rat shit? Absolutely not. But ghetto and hood rat is not specifically to black people. And that's something that a lot of y'all with this trend are not seeming to understand. Oh, what y'all are saying is anti-black. Y'all giving white people a reason to be racist. Baby, we don't need to give white folks a reason to be racist. Are you fucking stupid? They was gonna do that anyway. And a white person can see Malcolm X and Nipsey Hussle walk into the room together, and I guarantee you, to them, they both niggas. Just one got a suit and one got a blue bandana. To them, it's no different. I don't got a problem with people from the hood. First of all, I grew up on the east side of Atlanta. I stayed off Candler Road. Every weekend, I was at Stonecrest Mall or Golden Glide running from bullets from Black Mob and the fam. All my family's from Birmingham, Alabama, and they all live in the projects. The hood is just a part of my whole DNA sculpture. There's another type of black person that we should be kind of weary of too. They're called new blacks. New black is a person who never really fully identified the fact that they were black. They never really felt connected to the culture. Then out of nowhere, somewhere around after Trayvon Martin and Ferguson, they suddenly became extra black. They gotta overcompensate for the years of blackness that they missed out on. New blacks are the kind of people that wear t-shirts that say half holy, half hood. Shit like I got a degree but nuck if you buck. That is textbook new black shit. I don't like them just as much as I don't like ignorant crash out folk from the hood, just as much as I don't like black elitists who think they're better than everybody. There are some people in the suburbs who will do you worse than people from the hood. By the way, automatically.
That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in and letting me share these thoughts. If you've got stories from the suburbs or the hood, drop them in the comments. Let's hear from you. Hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Peace.
As a mixed kid who grew up in a predominantly white area, one thing I could not stand was when I talk about issues involving black people, and then white kids in my class would be like, oh, but Tyron, you're not black enough. Like, I fully understand that I do not look very black, and I understand that I don't fit everybody's textbook definition of a black person, but in no way is that going to stop me from talking about the issues that plague the black community, because I care about my culture and I care about my heritage deeply.
What have you had to unlearn about yourself to feel more free and confident?
Feeling confident in your blackness regardless of how you grew up, right? Because we always talk about the Oreo comments or the talking white comments. I feel like we haven't talked about the I'm blacker than you. I think that is something.
Yes.
Unlearning. No, you are who you are. Your personality is what your personality is. You grew up how you grew up. You speak how you speak.
Right.
That doesn't make you blacker than me.
Period. You're not black enough. You're not black as me. And it's like, what is this really supposed to mean? That is crazy.
It is.
But you're so right. Those are, things that we do face as being raised in the suburbs, right?
But it also,
No.
even if you grew up with a silver spoon, it minimizes blackness to struggle. And
Yeah.
is that really what we want to do?